Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Luck We Had a Shameless Recap podcast. We are going to put in the obligatory few minutes at the top of chit chat.
Sure. But actually, okay. So before we get to what I know we're gonna get to, because it's what we were talking about before we were recording, did anybody see that video of Jeremy Allen White and Io?
Yeah,
Whoa!
I saw that. He was rubbing her back.
Yeah, right.
But also, did we end?
I will say, at a baseball stadium, it's very limited room.
Yeah, but
so
I
he
ain't
could
be
have
giving
just been stretching
just
out.
anybody a back rub. Thank you very much.
But
Yeah.
also, like it.
Did they confirm it is Io?
It is.
It is Io.
It is also like, I think if they're that close, like I don't want to be like, oh, I'm not a believer, because I could be a believer. I could get behind it for sure. But
Isn't
if he worked,
who is he supposed to be dating?
he was
right
dating
now?
Rosalia, and he might still be. But if one of his reps were to come out, or one of Io's reps, and were to be like, it's platonic, I would believe that, because it was just a very friendly, gentle.
Yeah, he does seem like an affectionate.
He seems like a
touchy-feely person. Yeah.
So I'm like, if a rep was to say like, oh, this is platonic, and they're both still, because she has a boyfriend too, I think.
Yeah.
She's had a boyfriend for a very long time. So it's
remember how two of the guy cast members literally kissed on the mouth during the Emmys? Like,
No,
let's
literally.
not read
It's
into
like,
this cast.
right. Well, also I'm like, it's just what people do. Like, I would not be surprised, but people are like freaking and tweaking about it. And I'm like, well, good for both of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say I am kind of mad. I am happy that The Bear is coming out soon. I am mad that they're dropping the whole season at once. I sort of can't stand that, like, because it makes the conversation 1 week rather than many weeks.
That's how
as
they've
it's
ruined
airing.
so much of internet or TV culture. We've talked about this plenty of times on the podcast, just missing the discourse.
Well, because we're having the fucking time of our lives right now with
yes,
this
911 is the best time right now.
It's the best show on television. I'm so serious.
So let's timestamp it. It right now is May 20th. So the last 2 episodes of season 7 have not aired yet.
And also,
so we're still
since
in theorizing
then,
time.
guys,
Evan
I started the show.
Yes, he did.
Where are you?
Where are you up to?
So I started to freak out because I just couldn't get into it for a second, because I got halfway through season 2 and I was just craving something more crazy, so I started Hannibal and I finished the whole season of Hannibal.
Hannibal's
instead.
crazy. I ate that up.
Oh,
There's encephalitis in 911. Don't worry.
My only thing is just I don't get me wrong, I've been enjoying my time with 911. I just get too overwhelmed with too many real life things. I was like, I need the creepy and the spooky and the unrealistic. 911 is too real sometimes. I have mass texted you guys live watching episodes sometimes, and I'm kind of upset right now, and sometimes it takes me out of it.
No, that's fair.
Pussy.
But it does only get more unrealistic, I think.
Like the tsunami.
Think about it. I would rather watch Hannibal eat someone than watch that man who got on the motorcycle who got chopped in half. I would rather watch Hannibal eat someone any day.
That
my
one was
God.
rough.
It's just,
I will say,
it's too real, but I am
think,
enjoying my time, I promise.
I do think as the show goes on too, the filming style gets a little flatter.
Yeah.
And so that's what
for 911.
Yeah, so that's what makes it really TV for me. Everyone's always so perfectly lit and so airbrushed and
and they're all so beautiful.
And they're all so beautiful that I'm this is so unreal.
All right.
Wait, but you're in season 2, so you've met Eddie.
I met Eddie.
You now know everybody.
I know everyone.
You've met Maddie.
But you
Buck's
haven't
sister.
seen Eddie's backstory.
I know he has a son, and his grandmother doesn't like taking care of him. He does, but she's old.
She does, but she's old.
Before I let you guys take the reins on the 911 talk,
did you see the Christmas episode?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I want to say I'm into Bobby.
I know you are.
Yeah, you are.
This will make you happy. The last episode that just aired of season 7 was Bobby. 100% Bobby.
Listen, I see Buck. I see him. I'm watching, but Bobby, dude, I'm into that man. It's crazy. That post I sent you guys, and I was like, "What's your favorite Bobby and Buck moment?" And I was like, "When we went to Paris, guys."
Guys, we went to Paris. Did you not
Paris.
hear?
I made that joke to my friend and they didn't get it, and I was like, guys, you gotta be there.
I should have done.
Well,
I
yes.
market this to people in the wrong way because I've been pushing like the Dean and Cass parallels.
Nah, Bobby,
and
dude.
to all 3 people that I've sent it to, like my friend Val, it's like the Dean and Cass of it all, but she is also disabled. She's like, yeah, disabled child. I'm watching this. And then I pushed it on my friend, and she's like, okay, hot ladies, I am lesbian. I'm watching this. I'm like, great.
Yup.
For you, I should have gone the daddy.
Yeah,
that is
dude,
Bobby.
do you not know who I am?
Okay, well, it's like Bobby, Michael. Call me crazy. Call me crazy.
I would agree if the actor weren't anti-vax and that be the reason he was written off the show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I gotten there yet?
You haven't gotten to the COVID season yet, but like,
oh damn, they do a COVID season.
See, that is like the
pettiest.
one. Okay, but that is the one show where a COVID season not only
they handled it really well.
Well, because it wasn't like a huge. It was just like background to what was going on.
Yeah.
Secondly, like I think now in 2024, I'm removed enough from pandemic era that I can watch pandemic era media and be like, like that involves COVID and be like, oh. Right, that was the thing that happened.
Like nobody in the cast, nobody in like the show gets COVID, but like they wear masks.
But they wear
on
masks,
the calls and stuff like
and
that.
there's like, a fire at a hand sanitizer factory. It's like whatever.
Yeah. But the actor who played Michael, because of like union rules, it was like you have to be vaccinated to remain on this set, and he refused to get vaccinated. So they not only wrote a scene where his character gets vaccinated, they then wrote him off the show.
That's awesome.
True, and they wrote him off the show. It was so insane seeing Michael and his boyfriend because they never kissed once.
Nope.
And they were engaged by the end. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I was like, guys, we can't be serious. We are not being serious people right now.
Whack.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
I love also you're still in season 2, Evan, so you're still sort of have like Twinkie Buck. Wait until this man beefs up. This man beefs up.
Okay, like
so
Buck to me
hard.
right now is like the most like pathetic person in the entire world. He's living in Abby's apartment. He's like so sad about his goddamn sister moving out, and I'm like, dude, get a get a hobby.
And he just looks so like ROTC, like a guy you would really hate.
He looks like fresh out of fucking high school.
And then season 4, Buck, it's like, whoa, who's this guy? Hey.
When he gets out from underneath Abby, he's so much more interesting.
I just like can't get over that did he have a home and then he left his home to live in Abby's home?
Yeah, you see it once.
But he lived with a
had
bunch
like
of
a bunch of roommates in like a frat house.
Oh,
basically,
okay.
yeah. I mean, it wasn't like a real frat house, but it was like a bunch of people who just
I'm like Abby's been gone for like 6-8 months at this point in the timeline, and he's just literally loitering in her apartment.
Well, he was like originally he was like house sitting for her because
and then he's like, I haven't heard from her in months.
Well, because she said she was gonna come back, and that
and then
like,
he was
they
crying
would like
to
start
freaking...
and that they would like start things back up when she got back, and then she fucking ghosted him.
Yeah, it's so funny.
So he was like, well.
And, like, was she paying the rent? Was he paying the rent? Who had control of the lease? What was going on?
Why do I feel like she owned that place?
Yeah,
I bet she
got
did.
Money.
Yeah.
Because she's 45 or something. Yeah.
But isn't Maddie such a better dispatcher? Isn't she so much more
She's so
fun?
funny. I, like, love how she just showed up and they're like, all right, cool, you're gonna be a main character and literally, like, open every single episode.
That's things that you can only do between season 1 and 2 is make that kind of, like, major switch.
My favorite thing, too, is when they brought her in, the showrunner talked to her about her character and asked her opinions about it. And she went, oh, I think Maddie should be with Chimney. The plan was to put her with Eddie. And she said, I think Maddie should be with Chimney. And she went, really? She went, yeah, I think we have great chemistry. And because of her, Maddie and Eddie did not get together.
That's so funny.
The biggest buddy shipper of us all is Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I think Maddie and Eddie wouldn't have worked anyway.
No.
Because that guy is so gay that if he went to the Penis and Butthole Hotel.
Man, that is a
they would say, for you, my friend, it is on the house. That's a Tumblr post that I reference constantly that I feel like no one else has seen, but it is so good. It is, you, my friend, are so gay that if you went to the Penis and Butthole Hotel, they would say it is on the house.
I've not seen that.
I think about that post constantly.
I can't wait. So you're still in season 2, so you haven't seen the tsunami yet? Motherfucker, the tsunami changes everything.
No,
the
I'm
tsunami
not.
goes crazy,
I think
Evan.
I'm trying to
Evan.
remember where I
Evan.
left off. The most dramatic thing I remember was that like crazy earthquake. I think I'm like a couple of episodes after the earthquake.
That's like 3 or 4 episodes in, because the earthquake is Eddie's first call, I think.
Well, has Eddie's... Yeah, it's like episode 2. Has Eddie's wife come back yet?
No,
Shannon doesn't come back till well into season 2.
So yeah, well, and then she dies so immediately.
So, yeah.
Okay, shut the hell up.
I thought you knew that. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't know.
No,
even though I said
you don't know like anything.
No, that's why like I don't know
I
anything.
thought you were like seeing spoilers on like
I am, but like I'm so far ahead, I'm like not grasping what they mean.
Yeah.
Like that
No,
that one post about Eddie I sent you, it's just like when your dead wife's like doppelganger shows up and then she like I don't know.
What if you were Catholic and you had a 6-year situationship and your son was special needs and you cheated on your boring girlfriend with your dead wife's doppelganger and you were gay and
oh my god.
And you used to do street fighting and you were in the army and you got shot by a sniper and
Okay, so I need to ask you guys something because I feel like you guys were discoursing this over the last couple of days. Wasn't there like a lot of back and forth about like what the expectations were for like this last episode, and like you guys were like, we're winning, no, we're losing, and I couldn't understand.
Oh, it's so over, we're so back. So that's a constant
thing.
So
the we are so up, we are so down is just the week between episodes every fucking time.
Gotcha.
Because there's so much like new content that comes out near daily, like interviews, stills, promos, whatever, that people just like, and they're really good at like misdirecting people because that's their job. So like
we didn't see Vertigo coming anywhere.
There's
Vertigo
lots of crazy ass theories going on all the time, and so every single time it's we're so over, we're so back, etc., like over and over and over.
I never know
again.
if you guys won or not.
No, and we have to remember too, in the episode where Buck ends up kissing a man, that came out of fucking nowhere. Like we did not expect that to ever actually happen on screen.
Yeah, because people were like, they got the title for the episode, and of course every episode people are like, this is gonna be the one when Buck comes out. Yeah. They did not think it was actually gonna happen though.
No, we did not. No, we did not.
What was it? Like, what was the promo?
It was Buck bothered and bewildered.
Yeah, but like, what did they show? Just the call? Just the it was because it was the Bachelor episode. They were just promoting the shit out of the Bachelor.
Yeah, it was
crossover.
Literally just the Bachelor crossover.
No one knew. Yeah. No one knew anything about what was gonna happen. And then it aired, and I was on Twitter, and I was at a party, and I was like, guys, something insane is happening on TV.
I watched it. You and your roommate were like, "Is your Twitter blowing up right now?"
I was at a party, and my friend who watches TV was like, which I started Riverdale for her, by the way, but my friend who watches TV, I was like, so is something crazy's happening on Twitter right now? And she was like, are you talking about that firefighter show?
I watched it live, and I was sitting on the edge of my bed watching them get closer and closer in the kitchen, and I was like, wait a minute.
You're like, what's about to happen right now?
They're getting awful close to, oh my god! Like,
does he kiss like a rando, or is it a character?
It's
he's someone.
Here's the thing. Wait, I have more to say about him as well, because Tommy is a character.
Well, yes, but Evan, where you're at, you're like about to meet him, but you meet him in like a flashback episode. Like you see him.
Oh, is this person you guys mentioned before to me?
Yeah, you see him like multiple times.
Yeah. You meet him in Bobby Begins, in Chimney Begins, and in Hen Begins. He's in those
he
three.
used
I don't
to
think
work.
I've been able to figure who he is yet.
He used to work at the station with the rest of them, and then he left. And then in this like later season 7, he like makes a return to help them out with a call.
Wait,
so that's how
Chimney?
he gets like folded back in.
Is Chimney Begins in the first season, or is it in the second season?
No, it's in the second one. Bobby Begins is the only.
I think I just watched Chimney Begins.
Okay, he's the one.
His super depressing episode.
It's like a flashback.
It's like his yeah. So like his like brother Kevin.
Oh no, then I have not seen.
Okay, the episode is called Chimney Begins, and you meet Tommy a lot more in that one.
The episode when he like reconnects with his ex, who's like already like 10 months pregnant somehow.
Yeah. That kind of doesn't that kind of like jumpstart.
That timeline didn't add up to me.
Oh, she was a freak,
uber prego by the time.
Wait, yeah, but back to
I feel like that episode kind of jumpstarts like Chimney Begins though. Like it definitely comes soon.
Yeah. But back to the Tommy of it all. Here's, like, I was just saying to my friends, I hate that I now can't go back and watch the episodes where Buck is discovering himself
as bisexual because I hate this man so bad, because the actor who plays him, Lou Ferrigno Jr., has this cameo.
And he just keeps making shit up and, like, charging people. He's raised his rate. He went from a $45 video to a $145 video to just make shit up.
So annoying. So corny. So corny.
And you'll see in Chimney Begins and Hen Begins, he acts racist towards both of them and sexist towards both of them. And the actor who plays him went, yeah, he was teasing. No, that wasn't teasing. You were being fucking racist. You called Chimney the Chinese food delivery guy. Like, you were being racist.
I think the craziest thing is that people are paying for that, first of all. Second of all, I just think it's so corny.
He is not in the group chat.
Yeah, he's just straight up annoying, not gonna lie. And he seems like he would be annoying to work with. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know anything about him personally. But he seems like he would be really annoying to work with. And also his character is corny. I'll say it.
And barely has any substance.
And that's the thing is, like, I am not an automatic love interest hater when it comes to, like, Buck and Eddie. Like, I liked Natalia. I liked Anna. Of course, I understand why these relationships fell apart, and I support that these relationships fell apart. I liked that Taylor was evil until she was a little too evil. Until she was a little too evil. And also, I didn't like that she lost, like, all of her personality when she started dating Buck. I thought that was annoying.
Well, once again, it's because season 4 was planned to end with Eddie and Buck together. And so then they had to write Taylor out of it.
They were like, Taylor moment. Allie was nothing. Marisol is nothing.
Marisol is bones. I'm so done with her.
Shannon was interesting.
She's the only female love interest he has ever had any chemistry with. She's the only one.
Yeah. And she was like, Miwa not dying. Evan's Anna, so it's like, Miwa not dying.
Anna, like, only a gay man could fumble a bitch that bad. Like, she's so good.
Oh, she was bad as hell.
She was hot. She was good with Christopher. Like,
she was bad as hell. And so was Natalia. And you know what? I would have loved a different explanation for their breakup, to be honest. Like, I'm like, off screen.
Wait, the Natalia, the death doula thing? Wait, but it ties but it ties in with the relationship. Is because Buck broke up with her because too much death, all she thinks about is death, and then in this same season, Eddie is dating the specter of his dead wife? Excuse me?
No, it makes a lot of sense. It just sucks because, like, when we actually saw her character, I don't know, I was just like, she had substance to me. And I know it was unavoidable because, like, the actress couldn't come back. So it's like, yeah, off screen between seasons breakup. But I was like, man, for him to just brush it off and be like, yeah, she just, like, really wanted to talk about death. Especially when they ended the season with him, like, asking her to help him buy a new couch.
No, I hated that. Tomato. I hated that so bad. Season 6.
Couch theory is crazy. Couch theory is crazy. Lasagna theory is crazy.
Evan,
color theory is crazy.
Forget it. You're going to forget it by the time you get there, but I want to, like, give you a brief synopsis of couch theory. So in season 6, Buck...
Couch theory is insane.
Let me say what Buck said. Buck does not have a couch in season 6 because he had asked his girlfriend to move in. She brought a couch. They got rid of his. They broke up. Girlfriend left. Couch left. He doesn't have a couch in his apartment. Chris is teasing him that he doesn't have a couch in his apartment. And he says to Chris and Eddie, my last 2 couches came with girlfriends, and I want to make sure not to pick the wrong couch this time. And so he, throughout the rest of the season, doesn't have a couch. And then at some point, his parents buy him a couch. And he's, like, recovering from an injury on that couch. Cannot fall asleep. Is so uncomfortable. Goes to Eddie's house, walks in Eddie's front door, sits down on his couch, falls asleep in 10 seconds.
Shut the hell up.
No, seriously. Also, lest we forget,
get out of my face.
Lest we forget the part between when he decides. Okay, so after
someone who wrote fan fiction wrote that
shit. It's crazy. So okay, but before his parents, like, buy him that new couch, which it's worth mentioning that he has, like, a shitty relationship with his parents.
Yeah, they suck. We hate the Buckley parents.
Before his parents buy him that new couch, at some point. And it's, like, a kind of dramatic scene. He moves, like, a single armchair where the couch should be and sits in it by himself and is like, okay, like, this is fine, because he's like choosing to be single.
Yeah, to be alone
for a while. Yeah, he's like choosing to be
seater.
alone.
And in the scene where he goes to Eddie's house and comes in and sits down and falls asleep on the couch, there's a shot from Eddie looking
Is
at
Eddie
him.
like watching him and like has like a soft look on his face?
Well, yes. Well, yes. Well, yes.
Eddie lets him in, gets a beer from the fridge, walks over. By the time he's at the couch, Buck is asleep. And then a few episodes later, Eddie goes in the kitchen. A few episodes later, Eddie is with his son. He goes in the kitchen to get s'mores, comes out of the kitchen. Chris is asleep in the exact same position that Buck was asleep in on the couch.
Nah, that's crazy, guys.
And they're not together,
crazy.
by the way. That's crazy, right? But then, so then, don't ask how, but a woman gives birth on Buck's couch at the end of season 6 and ruins it.
Yeah.
And so he's like, okay, I need to get a new couch, moves the couch out. He's just started seeing this girl, Natalia, and the season ends with them together, and the last scene with them together is him asking her if he wants to go help him buy a new couch.
Worth noting, in season 7, still doesn't have a couch.
Good night, America. Good night, America. I want them to burn that damn loft down so fucking bad, it's insane.
Yeah, Lasagna Theory is helping with that. Lasagna Theory might be crazier than couch
Lasagna Theory is insane, first of all, and
nothing
so
is as
stupid.
crazy as Fridge Magnet Theory. Fridge Magnet Theory was the most insane thing ever.
Nothing will top what is actually canon in the show, which is Vertigo.
Yeah, Vertigo!
Come on. We are not being serious.
Anyway, we are being serious that Vertigo is a storyline in the show, but...
Okay, color theory makes a lot of sense. Red blue color theory,
yeah,
and blue green color theory make a lot of sense.
The blue green fucks me up every time.
Lasagna theory is insane. I'm sorry.
Lasagna theory's nuts.
It's not. That one's definitely not real, but it's worth trying.
Transitioning over from now, when I was at Fan Expo, I was sitting there at my friend's table. 3 different people walked up to me and clocked me and went, "I follow you on TikTok. You want to talk about 911?" 3 different people.
That's so awesome. Do you love when that happens? #fame.
It was crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Amanda thrives on that shit. What are you talking about?
And one of them, it was so funny. Me and Val, this person was like browsing her table, and me and Val were just kind of talking, and then we just started like kind of humming "What a Man," and this person looks up and went, "911, I follow you on TikTok." Just because we were humming like, "What a Man."
It clicked. Wait, since we last spoke, Noel and Cameron went to
since we last spoke, I met Cameron Monaghan.
I thought we spoke after that, but I guess we didn't, so
Nope.
we should talk about that.
I met him.
No, did we have that large of a gap?
I guess so.
I met Cameron Monaghan. He was very, very nice. In both instances, right before I went up for the photo and right before I went up for the autograph, a little kid was in front of me, and he was so good with the little kids that like him. I also didn't realize that the Star Wars video game was as popular as it is.
Dude, fucking people
it's
eat that
crazy.
shit up. He has an
It's
entire
crazy.
new fan base. That's why he's at that expo. He would have never been there for Gotham or fucking Shameless. He's there for Star Wars.
His
another plane has hit the tower. Amanda!
No, what just happened? What just happened?
Kat Pettibone tweeted, she said, "This week's 911. 1, I feel like this season is picking up old threads that never got explored properly and digging deeper into them, and I love that. 2, buckle up, we're going 100 miles per hour and not slowing down. I hope you like getting punched in the gut repeatedly." And the gif is Eddie crying on the beach after Shannon's death.
I do like getting punched in the gut repeatedly. Yes!
And the gif choice is Eddie crying on the beach after Shannon's death. We're so back. We're so
back. We're so back. It's not even funny. It's going to end on a cliffhanger. His life is going to be destroyed by the end of this season, and then we get to pick it back up. Like, everybody said that Tim was using this season as a rebuild, and he is, because Evan, the showrunner that was in it through season 4, didn't get to do what he wanted to do with Buck and Eddie in season 4 because of the network. So he left and went to Lone Star. and a different person ran seasons 5 and 6. The vibe is different. The vibe is bad. And then when the show got canceled and moved to ABC, he came back as showrunner. And so he's circling back to season 4 and fixing everything. Because like a lot of the story, like Hen and Karen foster parent storyline happened in season 4. Big Bobby moment happened season 4. Chimney and Maddie, like big relationship moments happened season 4. He's circling all the way back to he's bringing
something
everybody
crazy
back to where
better
he
happen
had
to Buck. He's been having too chill of a time this season.
Yeah.
I want him to be like dead. I know he died last season, but I want him to die again.
What the hell, guys?
3 minutes and 17 seconds.
What? He's like a little doll I like to play.
He's like a little doll. And the showrunner has famously said, nobody on this show is unkillable, I just don't want to kill them.
Well, because didn't he say Eddie was like, he's too pretty. He's
too
pretty to kill.
He's too pretty to kill.
Wait, okay, let's go back to Cameron.
Yeah, back to Cameron. Yeah, the line for his autograph was 2.5 hours long. And while I was waiting there was like a snake one, and we were very close quarters. So there was a lot of Star Wars people there, but around me specifically, there were like 5 or 6 shameless girlies that were there. At one point, we got so frustrated. We're like, if you don't know Ian Gallagher's middle name, get the fuck out of this line. Like, we were so frustrated. I gave them all stickers for the podcast. I told them all about the podcast.
Let's
so if
go.
you're listening, hey!
Hi!
But he signed my painting that is the logo to the podcast, and now I must attend. He and Noel are doing New York Comic Con.
No way.
Yeah, they're doing New York Comic Con. I kind of want to go to New York Comic Con because he and Noel did that German convention, which seemed so cute, so fun.
How is Noel relevant enough to get a New York Comic Con?
Cam,
I think it was more Cam asked him to come.
Yeah.
And then they did, like, panels together and stuff.
And there's a theory that there is a spin-off potential floating around.
I don't think that's a thing. Cameron is too freaking booked. Cameron is, like, working. Cameron's working, actually. Noel, I could see that. I could see him being like, I need money. But, sorry, not even as an insult. He's just very selective with his roles.
Not selective enough.
Right?
Propaganda.
He's not making enough.
AI is what I'm talking about. Not even propaganda bullshit.
I haven't even seen it yet, but it's a choice.
A choice I'm not going to watch.
And he had dark hair in Germany, and he looked like normal and good with dark hair.
But no got eyebrows, I can sleep at night.
Well, because it's his best feature, so it's like, thank God.
Thank God they're there again. Guys, do you remember this little show, Shameless?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Cam did answer some questions about Shameless in a panel, and I tweeted a couple of the videos that I got, and he was very affectionate about the story that he got to tell with Ian.
I was about to say, did he have like a good response to it though?
Yeah, he went to the Disney school of evading the question. He sure did, but he did have nice things to say about it. He was very honored. He knows how important the story is, and
I feel like someone asked something, and he was like, oh, it was someone in Germany, I think, was like, so what are Ian and Mickey doing now? And he was like, I don't know. And they were like, so Oliver Starkcore. Well, and he was like,
this isn't a supernatural convention. They're not going to roleplay
They were like, no, we need to talk about DJ and Ty, first of all.
Yo!
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
But then
and the fact that they were openly affectionate.
Someone asked Cam, do you think they have a baby by now? And he was like, how long did the show end? 4 years ago or something? And then he was like, I don't think they would be able to adopt because they are felons. He was like, which I support him because I thought the baby thing was so shoehorned and weird.
Yeah.
And he was like, I guess they could just find a baby
That's
somewhere.
What I was saying. I was like, it's Shameless. I bet they just acquire a baby.
They could ask Fiona to surrogate for them or something. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he was like some neighborhood girl or something. But he was just like, I don't know. And I'm like, yeah.
That's not the typical Shameless question I would ask, if I'm being honest.
And then every Star Wars question he got, and every Gotham question he got, he would answer enough of the question to not make the person angry, but he would walk his way around it every time. He was doing circles around those questions.
He's PR trained like crazy.
Somebody saw the picture in my TikTok. Oh, like it's sitting behind me on my headboard, the picture of me and Cam. And someone asked, "Is that you and Oliver Stark?" And I went, "I promise you that if I had a photo with Oliver Stark, I would never shut the fuck up about it."
I don't think I could meet him. I think something bad would happen to me immediately after.
I felt that way. Arms.
I felt that way about Anders though, and I was fine. But I was also really
He's
drunk.
cosplayed a firefighter long enough. He can save you.
Yeah.
Oh, that one podcast clip where he's like, "I see real firefighters and they look so capable and strong."
Yeah, like, your hands are huge.
Your hands are huge. Yeah, you could save my life. It's
I'm
like
such a TV firefighter.
Girl, keep it in your pants. Jesus. Like, there's something wrong with him for sure. But okay.
Yeah, and
did I tell you about that tweet I saw that was so funny? That was like Tim Minear needs to hurry the fuck up and make Buddy happen before their hairlines recede any further.
That's crazy.
Well, if they stop putting that fucking gel in their hair, it might look a little better.
It's not Oliver's fault that he's British.
All right.
His hairline is not.
Right.
Oh,
he lives in LA. He can do something about it.
That's true.
I've got my LAFD Buckley hoodie now that I got from Etsy.
Oh my god, I was about to say I got merch.
when it's merch, but it's literally just real.
It's just a firefighter outfit.
There are some people that is just buying merchandise from the LAFD directly.
Well, because when you buy from the LAFD, it goes to, so it's like, well, you might as well, but...
I can't with this.
So that's the thing, is it's like, do you think people don't do this with other firefighter shows, though? Like Station 19 and stuff? It's like, oh, people have been doing this forever.
Yeah.
Cop shows. I'm sure people, like, when Brooklyn Nine-Nine was on, people were buying hella NYPD merchandise.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this has always been a thing.
But anyway, I met Cam. They had a convention. They're going to do New York Comic-Con. Crazy pants shit. Cameron Monaghan is a very nice man, and he's very good with kids, is what I can report back. He was very kind, and he was loved. His line was insane, and he didn't have to be as nice as he was, and he was, and that was lovely.
That's good to hear.
That's great.
Yeah. Also, apparently, if you want to meet him, don't go on May the 4th. That was a mistake that I made.
That'll get you.
Star Wars Sky on Star Wars Day.
Go on Revenge of the 5th.
Yeah.
Or I think Blake Anderson tweeted, "May the 4th be 5th you."
Yeah.
On May 5th.
I met Felicia Day on the 5th, and she was a fucking delight. She was so nice. She complimented my makeup. She called me beautiful. I told her how important Charlie was, and she's like, "I love Charlie so much." And I was like, "Yeah, Felicia Day, you're the most lovely woman."
I love her so much.
Oh, she was great. Should we do the episode?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
That was our half-hour chit-chat. Welcome back.
We only talk every couple weeks, so we deserve a little catch-up time.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to get deeper into season 2. When you hit the tsunami, I feel like your brain chemistry will be changed.
The show
forever.
already is making short circuit, dude.
There is a point where everyone like stops becoming kind of like cardboard cutouty a little bit.
It's the tsunami.
There is a point. Yeah.
It's the tsunami. This is a shameless recap podcast. And we are so close to the end of season 6. We're so close.
So close.
We're in season 6, episode 11, Sleep No More. It's a penultimate episode, and it fucking feels like it. It treats itself like a penultimate episode. It aired on March 27th, 2016. It was written by Sheila Callahan. This was the 8th of 12 episodes that Sheila Callahan wrote. She's Mrs. Galovich. She did 305 Sins of My Caretaker, 311 Order Room Service, 403 Like Father Like Daughter, 408 Hope Springs Paternal, 503 The Two Lisa's, 510 Southside Rules, 606 NSFW, this one, 704 I Am a Storm, 709 Ouroboros, 805 The Miseducation of Liam Fergus Burkhart Gallagher, and 810 The Church of Gay Jesus. She was also a producer from seasons 3 to 8.
Yeah, she's working.
Yeah. It was directed.
She's working late.
Because she's a writer.
I love that song so much, honestly.
My honeybee.
Also, Adele is watching Adele. There's a theory that there's going to be an Adele song in the last 2 episodes of 911 because Adele has now watched all of 911, which she did. She
said that at a concert. She was like, I watched all of it, start to finish. Which
she famously, when Ryan Murphy reached out to her for Rumor Has It and Someone Like You, she then watched Glee for the first time. So, like, maybe he reached out again.
That was making me laugh really hard because people were just like quote retweeting that tweet with buddy edits to Adele, and they were like, Adele, have you seen this? Have you seen this?
This episode was directed by Anthony Hemingway, 6th of 7 Shameless episode he directs. He did 205 Father's Day, 302 The American Dream, 306 Cascading Failures, 411 Emily, 506 Crazy in Love, banger, 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 banger. He did this one and 802 Where's My Meth. He did Cascading Failures, Emily, and Crazy in Love. I'm proposing marriage. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he makes you feel it.
God,
but his early episodes, oh my god, am I in love with him. He also does a lot of one-episode jobs like Glee, Evan, It Was 610, Rise and Fall of Sue Sylvester.
That's a crazy fucking episode.
That isn't the Saw Trap one, is it?
No, that's the Hurt Locker.
Okay.
Is that the one, with when she's like clean?
Yeah, so it's Hurt Locker part 1 and part 2.
Apart, they're so shrill.
She like locks them in at the very end of the first episode.
She's so funny for that. She was so funny. That clip keeps floating around on my timeline, and she's like, apart they're so shrill, but together they're so tender. And she's like, I've been shipping them from a distance from the beginning. She's a teacher.
That there's literally like footage of them from the prom episode from season 2, like literally footage from like the rafters, like unused like footage from the episode playing on like a VHS TV. Like that footage was never used in the
that's
episode.
so
like,
funny.
It's like,
that is so funny when they do stuff like that.
Like,
well, because it's like in other shows. In other shows, when they show like photos of characters hanging out, but it's clearly a screenshot from the episode, it's like, well, you are not real.
This man has also done Orange is the New Black, Empire, American Horror Story, Treme, True Lies. But his early episodes of Shameless, I Am Proposing Marriage. Like, that's crazy. The synopsis. Frank offers to pay for the reception for Fiona's wedding and then goes scamming around town to raise the money. Sean worries Frank will only end up hurting Fiona and confronts him on it. Their difference of opinion quickly descends into a brawl. Though Previously On was done by Fiona and V and a drunk, passed out man, and V is wearing a Russian flag t-shirt, because that's her wife now.
Well, yes.
Previously on Shameless, Sean proposed, and Fiona wants to do it right this time. Also getting married, got married, Sven and V. Carl gets a taste of being a cop from Dom's dad. Ian lied on his paramedic paperwork about his mental health status. Lip got fired and evicted from campus and went off on Ewan's. Debbie had the baby at home and named her Frances after Frank.
I think the Previously On was filmed at the same time as... Wait, no, I might be tripping. But is it not filmed at the same time as Fiona's bachelorette party?
Oh, it might have been.
Because the only 3 people that are there are Fiona, V, and Svet.
Where?
Yeah.
At Fiona's bachelorette party.
No, and the one girl from the diner.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The one who's changed her name like 2 times.
Oh, yeah. Melinda.
Yeah. Melissa, Melinda, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Title credits. Fiona wakes up to Debbie not being able to soothe her crying baby, and she will not accept any help at all. Yeah. And Fiona is hanging around the house Frank is hanging around the house being gross, wearing Sean's underwear, pissing Sean off just in general. And Fiona identifies the cry that the baby is crying. She's like, she's hungry. The baby is hungry.
Lena.
Oh, right. Isn't Frank like...
Lena, this is... that's
Fiona
my
identifies.
Because
I'm like,
that's my
pork chop. Isn't
that's my pork chop.
Isn't Frank like crazy good with babies?
Yeah.
But then also he
Babies
does
love
like
him.
a really bad thing with the baby. He like rum gum.
No, that was just with Jaime.
That was Jaime.
No, that was just
yeah.
with Jaime. He gave him Percocet or something. He gave him a pain pill and put him to sleep.
Fiona, like I said, Debbie won't let anybody help with the baby. And Fiona has shifted into wedding planning, and Frank's like, I will be the one walking you down the aisle. And she went, yeah, if you pay for it, and maybe. And he's like, okay, I'll pay for it. And she's like, okay. And when pigs fly and hell freezes over, that'll be true. That's okay, Frank. And Lip's like, pay my tuition, too, while you're fucking at it. And Fiona's like, yeah, give me a sweet 16. To throw that on the pile.
That is silly.
And Frank then takes Liam to school, quote unquote, and steals Sean's boots on his way out the door. Sean is so mad at him already. Debbie comes downstairs with the baby and says she's leaving for school. She even refuses to let Sean drive her, but he doesn't let her. And he's like, I'm driving right by the school. Don't make it a whole thing. Just let me drive you.
Don't be nice to her. We don't like her.
Fiona urges Lip to try to help Debbie as they leave. And next door, Svet and V and Kev are woken up by immigration banging on the door. It's the same guy from the bar. And Kev has to run downstairs, Svet has to run upstairs. It's a whole thing. And Kev puts on a show for the guy about V dumping him and marrying Svet, but he's got to stay around because he can't afford to move out, and they've got the babies, so that's why he's still in the house. And the guy's like, yeah, I don't believe you, but okay. And then he goes upstairs and Svet and V are fooling around in bed.
Well, yes.
Well, actually.
At breakfast with Carl and Dom and her dad, Carl is asking for favors to help get him into the police academy. And Dom's like, yeah, get your shit together at home and then circle back to try to get in the fucking police academy.
This weird Carl cop era is just so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of shows like to ruin good characters by making them cops. I'm looking at you, new girl.
The bad boy.
What's weirder?
The hood
What's even weirder is the subsequent army era, because it's like, well, Ian already did that actually. Yeah. And there is a very clear reason why Ian likes ROTC so much. It's just it's it makes more sense for Ian's character because it's he craves order and stability, and he likes people taking care of him and watching out for him, and he feels neglected, so he wants to be part of a family. It's yeah, okay, ROTC makes sense for him, especially because he got into it at a younger age. But for
Carl's always been fight the system. It just seems it's so out of character, the whole thing. But honestly, the whole reason it starts is because he wants to impress Dom's dad. But then when she fucking disappears, why is that still relevant to his character?
He still hangs out with the dad.
Yeah.
For a while. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess he just grows to like it, but it's
not Carl.
He's so. Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe, I guess you could make the same argument for him as you do for Ian because he's around the same age, but it's I don't know. I just never bought it.
Yeah.
Never bought it for him.
Ian wakes up at Caleb's apartment where they're woken up by construction
Yay.
noise.
Boo.
And
Yay.
Caleb's like, we should crash at your house for a while. And Ian's like, no, it's worse at my house. Let's not do that.
We're almost free, though. They break up, really...
next season.
Very early next season.
And, I know Caleb, he's asking reasonable questions about his boyfriend's living situation, but, I hate him, so...
He just has been
me
rocky
off.
from the beginning.
Well, and he's so fucking judgmental that if Ian was I live with my family, or if Ian was I live with my family and it's kind of chaotic, and Caleb would be it's fine, and then he would actually see his family being chaotic, and he would be
this is a lot.
So...
Yeah.
He'd be like, so this is why you are so embarrassing in the way you are, and blah, blah, blah. And Ian would be like...
Go fuck yourself.
Caleb asks, are you excited about your first day as an EMT? And then he gives him a Superman lunchbox and a little kid's lunch that he packed for him.
Put an Uncrustable in there for a 200-pound muscle man. Get out of my face. He needs some chicken and rice.
We can't all be vegans jacked to all hell like Oliver Stark.
Dude, that fridge, that was fake as hell. That was a setup.
Well, yes.
He is not that well stocked.
But he is vegan.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
He was he opened the door and he was it's not usually this well stocked. Obviously, because they came in and staged it for the video, but... he did say that. He was like, he opened the fridge and he was like, it's not usually this well stocked.
I watched 30 seconds of that clip and I sent to you guys and I was just like, what is this? Guys, explain this.
He was like, but it is all stuff that I eat.
Yeah.
So much tofu.
Like, that is true.
What did we say? It was like, why, if tofu, why beefy?
Yeah, if tofu, why beefy?
Okay, but when I was just talking to Amanda about this, but when he's explaining the macros and everything, because I'm like trying to get in shape this summer, when he's explaining the macros and everything, it actually all makes quite a lot of sense. Like,
all right, we
tofu and tempeh like have the same amount of protein as meats. It's like protein versus carbohydrates. Like, yes, it makes a lot of sense.
Anyway, Debbie is at school with, it's 911 is just weaved in this. I'm so, especially EMT.
Sorry,
Ian,
guys.
We're never going to escape
Sorry,
it.
guys. It's over. It's so over for everyone. Welcome back, Shameless.
Welcome back, Shameless. Debbie is at school with her baby strapped to her chest, and the teacher doesn't let her in because she has her baby strapped to her chest. And she's like, go to the office. You have to do school from home now because you've got a baby now.
It's weird, though, because,
it's
like...
nice that they gave her the option, at least.
Didn't we
like,
see,
instead
like,
of just being, like, kicking you
all
out.
the other girls, like, last season with their babies, or, like, the beginning of this season,
We sure
like,
did.
carrying them around school,
We sure
so, like,
did.
why does Debbie have to take hers home?
That's a great question.
Yeah. Very... It clashes with what we saw last time.
Is it because her baby's so newborn?
Maybe.
It's Shameless. They don't care enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frank and Liam are panhandling outside of the grocery store wearing stolen donation clothing. And Lip is at the Alibi trying to study, and Tommy and Kev are giving him shit about hiding from his TA job. And then Tommy shifts to giving Kev shit about his wife's gay marriage. And then Debbie comes into the Alibi with her baby. And she and Lip get into it about school. And then she finally hands Franny off to Lip so that she can go pee. He's like, give me the baby so you can go pee. And God, Jeremy Allen White with a baby in his arms. Ooh.
I think this is the first time someone holds the baby.
And he's a father.
That's the first time.
Yeah, it is.
Anyone.
Yeah. Jeremy Allen White just looks good with a baby in his arms. I don't know what it is, man.
Another, why don't you? I need this too.
More Frank and Liam panhandling. Over to Fiona at the florist. She's looking at her options for the wedding. And then Frank walks in. And when they get told what the deposit is for the flowers, Fiona, for a moment, looks at him, is disappointed, goes to reach for her wallet, and then he pulls out a Ziploc bag full of cash. And he's like, here you go. I can actually pay for that. And Fiona, stunned.
It's like a shit ton of money for flowers.
Yeah. Well, for a wedding. Yeah. It's like a couple thousand, I think. Over to V and Svet getting interviewed, and the caseworker, again, is not buying their story about how they fell in love, but he also can't prove that they're lying, so they get a pass. And then over to Ian on his first day as an EMT trainee, we find he got the perfect score for the written and the practical test. Yep. I'm very proud of him.
Well, yes. Well,
I also recognized the woman that played his boss, but I didn't end up looking her up, but she's very
I feel like
looking.
she was in like something like Nickelodeon or something like that.
Lip goes back to Ewan's at school and wakes him up off the couch and gives him all of the work that he owes him. And then he apologizes for the fight and what he said about Ewan's and his family. And Ewan's like, yeah, fuck off. He takes the work and says, fuck off. At Patsy's, Frank is helping plan the wedding, and Sean couldn't hate him more. And Fiona's like, so where'd all this money that you're just pulling out of fucking nowhere? Where did all that come from? And Frank, in a rare, honest moment, says he hates that he missed Debbie giving birth to Franny, and he is sick of missing stuff. Like, it is a genuine, he is sick of missing big moments in his kid's life. I love that. That's the brilliance of William H. Macy, because he can be like panhandling, making up fake stories with Liam being a piece of scum, and then like that genuine little nugget of a moment is like, oh, fuck. Oh, there's a human in there. That's crazy.
Because it's like he does actually love his kids is the weird thing. He just sucks at it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He doesn't know how.
Well, yeah. Because, we saw his own mom. She was fucked up. Yeah. We don't really know shit about his dad as much, other than that I'm pretty sure he was abusive.
Ian, meanwhile, so smiley in the ambulance. He loves being in the ambulance. His boss tells him 5 basic rules for beginners. Do a rig check quickly, apply oxygen masks correctly, learn your patients' names, don't be too detailed in your reports, and learn to build trust with your team. Like, go out with us for a beer every once in a while.
Ian, my friend Ian. My best friend Ian.
They get called to a nursing home, and his boss says, go, have fun on the call, come back and get a drink afterwards, and bring your girlfriend. And he goes, I'm gay. She's like, so bring your boyfriend. No one gives a shit. See how easy that is, Eddie Diaz, Evan Buckley? Are you listening? Are you listening?
Shut up!
No, because when I started 911 and I was like, welcome back, Ian Gallagher.
Welcome back,
seriously.
Ian Gallagher.
And it only gets stronger every day, especially Ian entering his EMT era. Welcome back, Evan Buckley.
There's that one moment in front of the hospital. There's that moment in the hospital where, right outside the hospital, where he's got Eddie's blood in his hair, and his hair looks like redder because
Welcome
of it.
back, Ian. Oh, you want to go for the title? Welcome back, Ian.
The most Ian Gallagher he ever was. Sorry. Lip is playing with Franny at home, because Debbie has given him the trust of letting him, like, be around and play with and touch Franny. And Debbie's trying to do her homework, and my lord, once again, what is it about this man holding a baby? Why does he look so good holding a baby? I don't like babies. What is this? Debbie gives a little bit more about Derek, and she's like, he's not even returning my calls. His family wants nothing to do with me. And then Frank comes home and tries to pick up Franny, but Debbie's like, wash your hands. And she, like, makes him take his jacket off.
Especially because he's nasty.
Yeah.
He's nasty. Also, I know what it is about Jeremy. It's that he's very, his arms are very strong, but he's very gentle with the baby.
Yeah. The same thing happens with Oliver Stark.
We need to move on. Let's move on, people. Okay.
Can we? Will we? Shall we ever? So yeah, she's like, take your jacket off, wash your hands. And he does. Frank does do that so that he can hold Franny. Bill, again, is very cute with the baby. Like, when you see him take the kid, like, William H. Macy is a dad. Because that's how dads, like, will grab you. And Carl comes home with diapers and formula, which Debbie is pissed about. And Lip's like, well, Fiona thinks you should be supplementing because the crying, that's hunger crying. And Debbie's like, Fiona can suck a turd. And then Fiona and Sean argue about Frank participating in the wedding. And then they make a bet about how quickly Frank is going to give up on participating in the wedding. And she's like, if I win, you have to go down on me every night for a week. And if I lose, you have to go down on me every night for a week. And he's like, okay,
bet, dude.
Yay! Yay! Yippee!
Meanwhile, Kevin V.
I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
I would say, yay! Yippee!
Kev and V are arguing about the Svet and the sleeping arrangements of it all. And V's like, Kev, you should just stay downstairs. And Svet should stay up in the bedroom with me just in case this happens again in the morning. And V admits she's getting really interested in Svetlana. And she says that they're lucky to have her. And she and Kev kiss and make up about it. But Kev is like, sorry. Run that back? Like, you're interested in her now?
Shut up.
And V's like, thruple?
Yeah.
Challenger Summer.
A reverse
Which
Challengers.
I just saw that movie. It was crazy.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
It is as crazy as everyone is saying it is.
Uh-huh.
It's awesome.
It's
the
fucking
tension
incredible.
Is palpable.
Yeah. Do I know the rules of tennis? No. Was I on the edge of my seat during that match?
Like, do
Absolutely.
I care? No. I do GAF.
Frank sneaks up behind Derek's dad because he overheard all that shit about Derek's family not returning Debbie's calls. Sneaks up behind Derek's dad in his backyard and basically blackmails him into giving child support. And within the blackmail, he's like, yeah, your son got my minor daughter pregnant. Isn't Derek also a minor? Like, Derek isn't 18. Aren't they the same age?
Yeah, I guess, but he probably just doesn't know that. Or he's like, both of our kids are minors.
Yeah.
But, like,
so I don't understand how the blackmail
I can
works.
hold you as Derek's dad accountable in the court.
Okay.
Because they're both minors. So it's like, yeah, I can fight you.
That would get you there. Okay. At the house, the baby won't stop crying. So everyone is gathered in the living room, bitching about the baby that won't stop crying. And Sean and Frank get into it again. It's kind of like them hating each other eats. Like Dermot and Bill.
That's
my pork chop!
That screenshot lived in my head for like 3 years when you sent it to me for the first time, Lena. That's my pork chop!
Because it was so funny.
He
just
so
like
good.
fucking, he freaked out.
It is a good moment at the end of this episode. Ian comes home. Everyone's happy to see him. He gets to hold Franny. Fiona feels so left out with the Franny of it all, and she and Sean go to bed about it.
That's all you can do, unfortunately, at this point.
At the ball house, Svet takes her clothes off, gets into bed with V, and goes down on her wifely duties.
Well, yes.
And the next morning, Debbie is up bright and early, trying to be the new Fiona. Everyone is pissed about how much energy she has. And suddenly, someone throws a fucking brick through the window. And everybody's like, who could that have been? And the whole family's like, I don't know. Could have been one of a million people.
I think it said, like, fuck you, Frank, like, when they threw it.
Yeah, which doesn't narrow it down.
Right, like, that could be anybody.
And Sean's like, hey, stop acting like this is okay. That
And
Frank's
like,
bullshit is ruining your life. You guys need to set fucking boundaries. He's
It's always
new.
been like this. It's literally always been like this. Like,
You're
does
new
he not
here.
know how many times Frank has been in and out of the house? Like, where they're like, he's gone for good. No, he's not.
No, he's not. At the restaurant where Frank wants to have the reception, he once again blows Fiona's mind by coming up with the money and putting down the deposit for the place for the reception. Opening the alibi, V asks Svet what all the pussy eating was about.
Yeah!
V had 7
That's crazy.
orgasms.
Yay!
That's crazy.
That's exhausting. How are you standing up? And Svet's like, I take what I want when I want it. You could stop me. Sexy lady.
Nah, dude, no wonder V fell in love with her. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. V's like, I don't want to fuck things up with Kev. And Svetlana, women can have romantic feelings for more than one person. She loves 2 children at once, 2 friends. We play pool now. I take pool very seriously. And V's like, fine, 1 game, an actual game with holes and balls and shit. And Svet says, no balls, maybe holes.
Doesn't she, like, eat her on the table?
She sure does. She sure does.
Absolutely
Well,
does.
yes! Well, yes!
Women.
When will that be me?
V folds
My
so
turn.
fast.
Next in line, actually.
Hi. Hey. Hi.
For both. In line for both, please. Lip goes back to Ewan's office, asks how long he's going to be receiving the silent treatment. And Ewan's like, I know I've been a shitheel, but we have boundary issues, and we need to fix that. And we need to go back to me being your boss and your teacher.
Well, because Ewan's was like, what if we did a father-son thing? And then Lip was like, you'd be a bad father, probably.
Yeah.
And
Because you
Ewan's
are a bad father.
We could do cosplay, you are a bad father, and you are imprinting poorly onto me. And then they did that. So.
And, like, you can tell that breaking the father-son relationship devastates Lip. Because, like, he looked at this guy, he's like, this guy gets it. This guy is as smart as I am and is as fucked up as I am. And he's still good. He gets it. So, like, that sort of being ripped away from Lip really, like, damages him. And back at home, Debbie is breastfeeding and studying in the kitchen, at the kitchen counter. Why not at the table? Lower to the ground. But she falls asleep and drops Franny from her arms to
Baby
the ground.
hits the ground.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is a thing that happens to a lot of new parents, and it is something that needed to happen to Debbie for her to, like, accept help. It does suck, though. It's like, man, she dropped that baby.
And Fiona
Like,
called...
like 4 feet.
Yeah, like I said, why were you not sitting at the kitchen table? Why were you sitting at the kitchen counter?
Who is it that says, is it someone that says after this where they're like, babies are all just jello at this age?
Yeah, I think
Maybe
Fiona
that's a
says
different
that.
show. Maybe that's a different show. They're like, don't worry about it. Babies are basically jello at this age.
No, I think Fiona does say that to her in this episode.
Yeah.
Or like comfort her about like the baby hitting the ground.
Yeah. That's what they say if you like see a toddler running around and fall down, don't react.
They're like, they're fine.
Because they're going to get up and keep running. If you react like it's bad, then they'll start crying. And Fiona calls Lip about Frank actually paying for her reception, and Lip is fucking pissed. He's like, all these old narcissistic alcoholics should crawl in a hole and fucking die.
And he ate with that.
So true.
And Fiona tries to get Lip. She's like, hey, whoa, you good? And he's like, I'm fine, and pulls out a flask.
So and then he's definitely not fine.
Not fine. And then Fiona brings her marriage license to the church and has a private little dance party because, oh my god, she's girl who's going to be okay.
No, literally, I was just going to say it about Lip. I was like, guy who is not going to be okay. Yes, she's Rachel Berry on the street in New York looking up at the sky while everyone sings that Bastille song.
But if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like...
At the alibi, Frank is very happy about how good he is at being a dad right now. And he calls himself heroic for paying for the wedding.
Sure.
And Svet comes in and is like, I'm taking care of the kids and I'm going to go home and make dinner. And then V gives her a look and then pulls Kev into the back room. She's like, so, V and I had accidental sex and then we had on purpose sex.
I guess I was like, well, that was already kind of the arrangement, was it not? Like,
I think beforehand it was, but then once they actually established the marriage, the lines got blurred.
It's like V never reciprocates, like never touches Svetlana back, but I guess she probably did this time.
Yeah.
Because before it was just transactional, like, you go down on me, wifely duties, but this time I'm assuming V reciprocated back and got her off.
And wanted it.
Yes.
Like,
yeah.
Or even like initiated it, like participated in initiating it.
Yeah. Didn't stop it. And V says it's not just sex, and Kev is like, he's like, this is like my worst nightmare and my greatest fantasy all combined into one.
So awesome.
He's so true for that, dude.
And he's like, he doesn't know how to react because he's angry, but it's hot. And and V's like, I'm telling you because I want to keep it going with all three of us, and I don't know what to do about that, but I also don't want to lie to you, so we need to have this conversation. And then over to Lip, he's late to class, he interrupts Ewan's lecture, he's drunk, he corrects him, he calls him an alcoholic in front of the whole lecture hall.
Says the guy who's drunk at lecture right now.
He even lights a cigarette in the classroom, and Ewan's like, grabs him and pulls him into the hallway. And Lip lays the fuck in. Jeremy, how do you not have an Emmy for this? He's like, you don't give a shit about me because you don't have to. You just sit in your ivory tower and I'm a fucking insect crawling on the wall till you squash it, right? Does that make you feel powerful because you fucked up your own life and you fucking hate yourself for it? So Lip gets fired.
Yes, Lip.
Well, yes.
Well, actually.
Over to Ian at work. He is talking to the other paramedics. He's learning. He's like, don't cut a leather or a down jacket. Take it off. It's going to take longer to try to cut through it than it would to try to take it off to get IV access. And Ian then pulls out his dumb little lunchbox. And there's a dumb
whatever.
Note. Like, there's a dumb note from Caleb. Blow me. I hate it.
Yeah.
He gets confronted about then his boss comes over. She's like, so we ran a background check because duh, and you lied about your mental health on your application. It came up
like you voluntarily admitted yourself to a psych ward, and he's like, actually.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of involuntary, actually.
I had no choice, but I had to say I was okay with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like he did undergo a mandatory 72-hour hold, but then he voluntarily committed to an inpatient.
Yeah.
So it was both.
And then he gets fired because they don't hire people with a documented mental illness. And he says, my mental illness makes me better at this job. Like, I can talk down a kid having a manic spiral because I've been that kid. But his boss is like, these are the rules, and walks away. The family.
I mean, it's just even worse that he lied. Is the thing. Like, it's like, yes, it's about the fact that he has it and has been very recently in treatment for it too. But he lied, which is just not, it's like you can't trust someone.
And I do understand, I understand, like, the rule side of it and the, like, he is right. His experience gives him compassion that other people wouldn't have and would make him better at this job. And also it makes him mildly unstable in a job that requires stability. So I don't think, like, obviously people with mental illnesses shouldn't be discriminated against for their jobs. And also, this is a hard, mentally taxing job.
Right. Well, it's also like for a job that causes so many people a lot of trauma.
Yeah. And people's lives
to already
are in
start
your
with
hands.
trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, one bad call could trigger him and send him on a terrible depressive spiral. Which it could for anybody, but somebody who has a diagnosed bipolar disorder, yeah.
It's just more likely.
The family gets home to Franny crying alone on the couch and Debbie hiding under the stairs, beating herself up about dropping Franny.
And leaving her crying alone on the couch is probably not even worse.
Yeah.
Or it probably is worse.
But Fiona's like, she's fine. Look, she's fine. And she's the one that says, like, babies are basically elastic. And Sean steps in, he takes the baby while Fiona helps Debbie. She's like, you have a fever. You have a clogged milk duct. This happened to Monica. Let me help you with this. And then Sean hands Debbie the baby and he's like, she wants her mom. And then he confronts Frank about the brick through the window. And Frank's like, oh, those guys usually hit us around the holidays. Anyway, aren't you going to thank me for the money I dropped in the wedding? And he says he got the money by blackmailing Derek's parents about a possible statutory rape charge. And Debbie's like, what? He
must be 18.
Maybe. But Debbie's like, hi, what the fuck? Now Derek's family for sure will never talk to me again. And then Sean confronts Frank. He's like, you're not paying for the wedding with scam money. You're not ruining Debbie's child's family. And you're not going to break Fiona's heart for the 100th time. And that's my pork chop.
That's my pork chop. That's my pork chop.
Best scene ever.
And Frank's like, this is my pork chop. This is my house. This is my family.
It's my pork chop.
And Sean's like, you don't deserve to walk Fiona down the aisle. And then they start throwing hands.
They beat the shit out of each other.
And they actually fight. Like, Frank holds his own.
Yeah.
Not bloody,
two old guys fighting.
And they bust through the lattice on the back porch to the backyard. And Carl comes in and breaks it up by putting Frank into a chokehold.
Pretty badass.
Yeah. And then Fiona's like...
So funny when he does that, actually.
Fiona's like, Frank, you got so close. You got so close to pulling off a good father thing. And then you fucked it up like you always do.
Who threw hands first?
I think they both did. I think they both swung.
Nah, I think Frank swings
Because I'm like, Sean's the one who yelled at Frank first.
Yeah. And she kicks Frank out, obviously, and turns on Sean then. He's like, now you're risking your fucking parole getting into a fight with Frank. And he's like, I was standing up for you. She's like, I can stand up for myself. And this was not standing up for me. This was your fucking ego that did this. And she's like, my heart is not shattered. I don't have a heart when it comes to Frank. He wouldn't get my hopes up. I don't have those.
That's true. Like, she was just willing to accept the money. And if it fell through, she was going to be like, well, he's untrustworthy anyway.
Yeah. And Sean, something's going on with you. I know it. I feel it in my bones.
Next episode, buddy. Next one, pal.
Woo! Yippee!
That's me when Evan gets to the tsunami episode.
I was so fucking pumped to get to the tsunami episode, and then it delivered.
Yeah.
It delivers, by the way.
After that earthquake episode, I don't know how I'm going to be able to deal with the tsunami episode.
Tsunami is fucking crazy. Tsunami's crazy. It's technically a 3-parter, low-key. Well, because
Two was enough for me.
Well, it's actually just 2, but it's like 301, and then it's like kind of the tail end of 301.
Yeah.
Is when shit's like, boom, and then 302 and 303. 303! Anyway. Best band ever. I've been having a 303 summer, by the way, guys.
Anyway, riding the rage is Lip destroying Ewan's car. Just like going fucking nuts on Ewan's car. Getting chased by security and getting taken down because he's drunk. Getting chased by security.
Also, he's just doesn't care anymore. He already had the thing with Helene happen. He just lost his TA job. He's like, college is so over. Like,
Frank gets on the L, rants to some random guy about Sean and Sean's ego and how he wants to see Sean die. And the guy's like, yeah? How much you willing to pay for that? And he's so like, funny. What? He's like, I can make that happen. And so then he pays the man a bunch of cash to kill Sean.
We'll see if anything happens with that. Random guy you met on the L, sure.
We got to credits. The after credits scene is Kev and V and Svet. They're sitting down with a whiteboard. It's like, so are we going to have a fuck schedule or a fuck calendar? Am I getting my own night with Svet? Oh, that's awesome. Wait, are we dating? No other dudes. No other dudes. Should we tell people?
Is he? I can't remember. He's like standing in front of a whiteboard or something.
Yeah,
and he's like writing down.
Because he's like, all right, so Monday
is
V and Kev. Tuesday is V
Kev
and
Svet.
And then he was like, is Wednesday me and Svet? Oh, but I get my own day
No.
with
He's
Svet.
like V and Svet and Kev. And then he's like, wait, Thursday.
When he breaks up, he's like, no other dudes. No other dudes.
So
I support that. Hell no.
Yeah. But
In fact, just like no other people, period. Like 3 is enough.
3 is more than enough.
You're having an everyday schedule.
The credit
day
song
off. Sunday is God's day off.
The credit song is Secrets of Men by Ming Ming and the Ching Chings. It's a good song. And next week on Shameless, the season finale, Lip wakes up in prison. Ian can't be an EMT. Dom's dad still has his eye on Carl. Fiona's getting married, and Frank has a gun?
Well.
Why does he have a gun?
Killing Sean.
Season 7, episode 1 eats, so I'm excited to finish out.
She already knows
season.
that we talk about that.
You talk about it every time.
Intro.
Yeah.
It's just the opening sequence. It's like, well, yes.
I will say now that we've finished the penultimate episode of season 6. Season 6 was okay.
It's actually good. See, the thing is like
bad.
even through season 7, like they really stay true to all the characters. And they're doing interesting things with them.
Because I think, like, what me and Lena have said.
But then
is, like,
season 8, it's
wrong.
like, well, we're just rehashing what we've already done.
Like, don't get us wrong, it's entertaining. Like, there are going to be, like, episodes slower than normal because it is, like, less eventful seasons. But, like, shit still happens that, like, progresses until the end of the series.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of, I feel like, what happens in season 7, a lot of that stuff all comes back like full circle.
I wonder why the major switch like tonally happened. Wasn't the show like it was low-key like canceled and then it wasn't, or it was like everyone's
gonna be back for
there were contract renegotiations or something after season 7. Like everybody's contracts were up. Well, there was the big drama with Emmy and getting paid the same amount as Bill Macy. That was definitely a thing. But I know that, like, I think everybody's contracts were under renegotiation.
Yeah.
And it just felt
Cam had already started Gotham, so he was disappearing every once in a while to go do Gotham.
Yeah, it just felt like, well, and like, in real life, it's like, Emma and Ethan were, like, in high school, and they were like, okay.
Ethan wanted to leave to go do
Yeah, we kind of want to have, like, he does leave for a while.
Season.
Where it's like we kind of want to have like normal experiences.
Yeah.
Like
then they had to like age up Liam and bring in a new Liam.
They brought in new Liam, who is better than the other Liams, but also I get why like timeline wise they couldn't have had. I don't know. The whole thing is just like crazy. Well, when they bring in Christian Isaiah and they're like, he's 8 and he's so obviously not 8. He's so obviously like at least 10 or 11. Because he's, like, not acting like an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
But also, I thought it was really weird that, like, before the set of twins who played Liam, they were so quiet. Because I'm like, they never said anything. Because I'm like, actually, 8-year-olds and 7-year-olds are really not this quiet, though.
They'd be yapping up a storm, especially with that family. I feel like they'd be crazy, not just, like...
You have to pay them more money if they say lines.
Oh, and I feel like they tried to justify it by being like,
He did coke and he's brain
dead.
And
and then he was so normal after, and it's like, so what's that all about?
Yeah. You have to pay them more money if you give them a scripted line.
Especially because they're twins because of time stuff. But with Christian, I guess they only had the one because they were like, well.
The Kevin, Svet, and V, I will be honest, has carried me through most of the season. And the fact that I love Fiona and Sean, and I know it's going to hurt me so bad. Like, Fiona and Sean were an interesting couple to watch this whole season. Like, they were I was into it the whole time.
Yeah, me too. But it's really, really fun to watch them implode, actually.
Yeah. I can see that.
I don't have fun. What are you talking about? You're a devil.
It's fun in a sad way. It's fun in like no. Like, it's disappointing that Fiona gets like, okay, so I do like that Fiona's resolution is like choosing herself and like not ending up with a partner as far as we know. And then they totally fuck that up like in season 11 when they do her Hall of Shame and she's like on a dating show or something. But
I still firmly believe she found Jimmy and is with Jimmy, and that was part of a con. Like,
but Jimmy has always been like crazy and unstable is the thing, and I'm just like, I don't think he ever changed. Like they were perfect for each other in that they were so in love with each other. But I don't know. I'm like, I feel like
I don't see season 9 Fiona with Jimmy.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm like, season 9 Fiona, I don't think she could do that life forever. That's fair. I don't think Jimmy would ever change. But maybe he would. Maybe after a couple years off, like we'd come back and he'd be different. But I don't know. Yeah. I don't know because it didn't happen in the show, so it's only what I make up in my head.
Yep. And should I pay you $145 for that opinion? Should I pay you $145 on Cameo to say something that didn't happen in the show and doesn't actually count? Should I do that?
No, and not even if I was in Shameless should you do that. Not at all. No one ever should pay me for these opinions, actually.
Stop giving this Nepo baby your money.
Sometimes I start to think that I should be paid $145 for my opinions.
So true, so real.
Not by you.
Yeah.
But maybe by others.
Yeah.
Someday.
So true, so real. We have merch. Did you guys know?
Would you like to pay me for these opinions?
I think that's a good place to end the episode. We yip-yapped a lot about 911, and we appreciate people sticking through that. Also, watch it. Please watch it. It needs to go a few more seasons.
Guys, you saw how big of a hater I was
crazy.
Episode?
Guys, it's crazy, and it's only going to get crazier. I feel it in my bones.
I think I said this when ABC announced its lineup for next season. It's 911 on at 8 o'clock, a new Ryan Murphy show on at 9 o'clock, Grey's Anatomy on at 10 o'clock, and 2 of the queer characters of Grey's Anatomy are leaving. Grey's Anatomy Bones. I think Grey's Anatomy's on its way out the fucking door.
Bones, dust, grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's on its way out. I think
it's time. It's time. What I wonder, I just want to hear your opinion on this real quick. Do you think that they're going to try to keep 911 going and they're just going to introduce new probies and then like move those up into main characters? I guess we'll wait and see if they move if they move Ravi up into a main character. I guess that kind of sets a precedent. So it's like when other actors want to leave.
I think the cast that we have now, and if they don't add too many new people, 10 or 11 seasons solidly we can do. Like,
you think?
Yes.
Because I wonder if any of them are like itching to try new things.
Maybe.
But like, I think a pretty intense filming schedule. I mean, I think they have a lot of fun.
I think we could hit 10 seasons with this cast easy.
Yeah. Well, because next season 9, and then 10.
Next
I think 10 is 8. Oh, right. I think 10 is doable. I think after that, maybe they'll start phasing out some of the mains and moving in new probies.
If Bobby leaves, I'm not watching the show.
So the thing about Bobby is that he's like 55. And
hey,
I don't know how long
he's a firefighter.
In the first season of Grey's Anatomy, Richard Webber was retiring. It is 22 years later. He's still there.
No, I know, but I'm like, how old do career firefighters go?
Old.
Forever.
Yeah.
Old. Into their 60s at least.
He just hangs out at the fire station.
Okay.
Because he's Bobby.
Girl who is going to be okay.
Bobby.
He is not leaving. Okay. Girl who is going to be okay. He is not leaving.
All right.
We've got to go. We've got to go.
Get out of here.
Follow us on all the things. And thank you all for listening.
I promise I'll make it to the tsunami episode.
If anybody came from Fan Expo,
anything after that, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter to me. Well, the sniper was fun, but the tsunami is literally the only thing that I just want to watch.
Whoa, hey, no, season 4 is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
Oh, well, because the sniper goes crazy, but and also the Jinx episode goes crazy.
Oh, the Jinx episode.
That
really
one's
good.
fun, and the treasure hunt one, and
Amanda, the 3 Ocean's 11 episodes.
I just rewatched the Oceans one today, and it was really silly.
The cruise ship, an actor from Ocean's 11.
There?
An actor
why
from
is Dave Karofsky there?
Wait,
in the Oceans episode,
no,
why
that's
is Dave
not,
Karofsky there?
No, that's
no.
not.
I know you're talking about the cruise one, but I'm talking about Oceans 911, like the original.
Oh yeah,
one.
no. But in the cruise episodes, an actor from Ocean's 11 is in the cruise episodes.
I've never seen an Oceans movie.
So is didn't I look this up? So is Barry's Barry Jr. from Barry, like the assassin that he was training on NoHo Hank's team. He's like the dude who hijacks the cruise ship.
We gotta go.
Bye.
Goodbye.